Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're getting into something I think is really fascinating.
Yep.
It's all about Canadian construction and, more specifically, what it takes to earn a Gold Seal certification.
Cool.
I always thought, like, oh, if you just know how to, frame a house or pour a foundation,
Mm-hmm.
that's all it took to be, like, a successful contractor.
Right.
But uh, we found this amazing training document from the Gold Seal program itself, and it's pretty clear that there's a whole lot more to it.
Yeah, there is.
So before we get into all that, can you give us a little background on what Gold Seal certification actually is?
Well, it's basically the highest standard for construction professionals in Canada.
Okay.
Like, if you're Gold Seal certified, it means you've proven yourself not just in technical skills, but like leadership and business management too.
Mm.
It's a pretty big deal, like a mark of, real expertise in the industry.
So it's not just about knowing how to swing a hammer.
Nope, definitely not.
So what's something that surprised you when you were looking through this training document?
Honestly, it was the emphasis on scheduling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at first I thought,
Like-
well, scheduling, it's kind of obvious, right?
Yeah, like you got to have a schedule.
But the deeper we dig into this, the more I realize, like, it's actually crucial for everything else that goes on in a project.
So how does a Gold Seal professional actually use scheduling to, make a project successful?
Well, they break it down into 5 key steps in the training.
Okay.
And step 1 is all about data collection.
Data collection, huh? So, more than just having a calendar on the wall?
Oh, yeah, way more.
Okay.
It's about getting super detailed, real-time info from, like, every aspect of the project.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about here?
Field reports, progress updates from all different teams, even software like Primavera P6 or MS
I
Project.
tried to that.
Yeah, they use those to like track every little detail.
That seems intense.
It is. And all of that data, it's not just for the project manager's peace of mind. It actually feeds into like the contractual obligations outlined in standards like CCDC2.
I'm going to need you to break that down for me.
Right. CCDC2 stands for Canadian Construction Documents Committee, document number 2, which is like a standard contract used in a lot of Canadian construction projects.
Okay.
And it requires contractors to keep a detailed schedule.
So from the very beginning, they're held accountable for sticking to that plan.
Exactly.
So we've got all this data. What do we do with it?
Well, that brings us to step 2, which is the analysis of variances.
Variances are we talking about what's ahead of schedule, what's behind schedule?
Yeah, exactly. But it goes deeper than that. It's not just about like checking boxes. It's about figuring out why those variances are there in the first place.
So playing detective a little bit.
Totally. You got to figure out what's throwing things off track.
Okay, I'm liking this.
And this is where critical path analysis comes in.
Oh yeah, I've heard that term thrown around.
It's super important. So imagine you're baking a cake and the delivery truck with your flour gets a flat tire.
Oh, no disaster.
Right. Without the flour, you can't bake the cake. So in construction, the flour would be like a critical task.
Okay.
Critical path analysis helps you identify those crucial tasks that, if they're delayed, the whole project's going to be thrown off.
Makes sense.
By understanding that you can anticipate problems, adjust resources, and even change the order of some tasks to keep things moving.
That's pretty amazing.
And this all ties into budget, too.
Oh yeah,
Because if your schedule's messed up, your budget's going to take a hit.
big time.
So by managing the schedule really well, a Gold Seal professional can keep the project on track financially.
I'm starting to understand why this is such a big deal.
Right. And this financial aspect is also highlighted in contracts like CCDC 5A.
Okay, another one for you to decode for me.
No problem. It's the Construction Management Contract for Services.
Okay.
And it stresses the importance of the schedule for the financial health of the project.
All right, so we've analyzed the variances. What happens next?
Well, naturally, you got to update the schedule based on what you've learned. Things change all the time in construction, so your schedule needs to be flexible and adaptable.
But with all these changes, how do you make sure everyone's on the same page?
Communication and documentation are key.
Of course.
Any changes are like officially communicated and documented,
Okay.
and they often use tools like CCDC change directives to do this.
So there's a system in place for making sure everybody's in the loop.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And this isn't just about like legal stuff.
Yeah.
It's about building trust with all the people involved so they
Mhm.
know that you're on top of it and they can trust the process.
So that leads us to the next step, right?
Right.
Reporting progress.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is all about giving clear updates to everyone involved.
It's like a progress report for the whole project.
Basically, you highlight what's been done, what's still pending any variances, and what impact those have on the project.
So everyone's got a clear picture of where things stand.
Yeah, good and bad.
And I imagine this is where you also start talking about solutions, right?
Absolutely. You identify risks, you recommend actions. It all ties back to managing the budget and keeping the stakeholders happy.
Okay, so we've covered data collection analysis, updating reporting. What's the last piece of the puzzle?
The final step is stakeholder communication.
So this is where you actually talk to the people involved.
Yeah, face to face. This is where your leadership skills really come in.
I see.
It's about getting everyone in the same room to talk about progress, address concerns, and make sure everyone's on the same page.
Like those boardroom meetings in the movies.
Exactly. But with everyone working towards the same goal
Hmm.
and this open communication, it builds trust and it prevents conflicts down the line.
Wow, this is a lot more to scheduling than I ever thought.
It really is. It's like the foundation of a successful construction project.
I was starting to get that.
When you do it right, you save time, you save money, and you avoid a lot of stress.
So what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I'd say whether you're building a skyscraper or just planning a small project, a well-managed schedule is crucial. It's a roadmap to success.
Absolutely. And if you want to learn more about how the pros do it, check out the Gold Seal Program website. It's a fantastic resource for anyone in the construction industry.
Definitely.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.